Hello and welcome to another video here with Toxic Crypto. It's a rainy day here in Virginia. I don't know where you guys are at, but I hope you had a great and fantastical Wednesday. Hope you ate well, maybe got some exercise. Um, we're not at your computer at 10:30 a.m. when the whole European trade reversed and Bitcoin dumped. Just gonna keep this video short. I want to just cover the majors real quick and some of the moves I saw. As you probably saw on other places in the news, the whole European debt crisis that we saw back in 2010, 2011, that the ECB kind of figured out a way to just bail everyone out. Well, it looks like the political turmoil in Italy and Spain is kind of a catalyst that the crypto community is trying to put forward as a reason to rally. And I would highly recommend, I'm not going to cover it in this video, but there has been some really good content that some of the other people on YouTube out there have done. Data Dash, for one, did a great video. Might have been yesterday or the day before. Well, he really puts it all together. I think it's when he talks about his Bitcoin 50K by the end of the year. Thought, but I highly recommend checking Data Dash's video on that. He breaks it down very, very well. So major props to him. There are some that, if you looked at the bond yields for Italy, people were selling them, so it caused the interest rates to go up. Price and rates have a opposite effect. When prices go up, interest rates go the other way. When prices go down, the interest rates go the other way. So when interest rates go up, prices go down, which means people were selling them, which means no one wants to own them. So to make them more, to make people more want to buy them, they expect, because there's more risk, they believe there's more risk, they expect more return for that risk. So the interest rate on the bond goes up for Italy's bonds, and they spiked pretty big time over the last couple of days, which caused US equity markets to go down yesterday. We rallied back up today, and we saw a bid in crypto yesterday. Now, it also happened to be right when it looked like we were about to break down. All of a sudden, this kind of came out with the BTC rally. So when the news hit Reuters today and some other news outlets this morning, that Italy kind of changed their minds and they kind of moved away from what they were doing. Again, I'm not a political Italian expert, so I can't go in depth. Definitely do your own research. Look at Zero Hedge. Look at some of the other videos out there. Do your own research on what exactly is going on. I might put together a video later about an update and a short, concise version, but as of right now, all you need to know is that it looks like it is moving Bitcoin in the overall crypto market. It looks like the crypto space is trying to use the European debt crisis as the next catalyst for humongous inflows of capital. I think it's pretty smart. I think now, to wish ill on people and to wish the end of the European Union and for big banks to go down, people lose their jobs, people lose a lot of money. It's not something I wish for. It could happen. I mean, technically it should have happened years ago, and Europe never fixed their banks. They never put in proper measures, taken enough capital, never got enough toxic assets off their books. The US, we actually did raise a lot of capital. We raised a bunch of cash to have on our balance sheet for the big banks, and we go through significant stress tests, and we pass every year. Europe has less stringent stress tests, and they don't pass. A lot of the banks don't. With the Italian turmoil, there's a lot of banks in trouble in Italy. There's a lot of banks in trouble in Spain. Greece has been in trouble, but Italy is 10 times bigger than Greece, and Greece almost took the whole world down back in 2010, 2011, if you remember that. And 2012, that whole timeline. So I didn't trade crypto back then, but there are those who say back at that time in Cyprus, they locked all their money up. Cryptos went up like 400 or 500%. So people in crypto, and especially I think probably a lot of the people in the field that I respect have been saying this for some time. And the euro itself, which I don't know if I have on my watch list or not. Here's the euro to the USD. It's been in free fall since the middle of April. That's a pretty. This is one of the. I think it's the biggest pair. If it's not the biggest pair, it's the second biggest pair in currency. It's trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars in currency. It's been in free fall. Now the dollar's been getting stronger, but mainly this is. I think they were sniffing it out. All right, and Deutsche Bank has 200 trillion in derivatives on their book, something like that. It's ridiculous. Now they won't tell you they have that much, but there are estimates that are in the 100 to 200 trillion if you really look at what all they're involved with. Like Deutsche Bank has lost a lot of its value in the past month, and it never really rallied ever. Are they DB in stock? So if you look at the end of 2018, I mean, look at this. They're down. They've lost 50% in the last 5 months. This is the biggest German bank. I mean, this is huge. If they go down, they can't. First off, the world can't let Deutsche Bank die because it will bring everything down. It's another 2008. So when Deutsche Bank keeps going lower and no one really knows why, and then all of a sudden this Italian stuff happens and the yields start going, and then we find out that the biggest buyer of Italian bonds are the ECB, the European Central Bank. They're the only ones buying the debt, and then all of a sudden we hear ECB saying we're going to slow down our bond buying program. Nobody wants the bonds. Nobody's going to fund Italy's debt. No one's going to potentially bail them out. Even though the ECB has a rescue fund, they've been bailing Greece out, 12 times? It's a domino. And this is what I traded. I was trading during this time of the European debt crisis. And this was one of the main thoughts. Like Greece was just a tip of the iceberg. It was going to be Italy. It was going to be Spain. Spain had like 30% unemployment. It was going to be like Brazil next. Like Russia's not doing well either, guys. I mean, China has a housing bubble. Canada has a housing bubble. There are people that say the US is back in a housing bubble, but it's not as bad as Canada's and China's and Europe's. So now that interest rates are going up, money's not cheap anymore. We're about to see if we can really make a soft landing out of this. It's been 10 years since the crisis. We're going to see. So remember, we're not in a vacuum when it comes to this currency class. And more, the Wall Street gurus are trying to find some type of correlation, because they love correlations, between asset classes. One example would be, hey, if the US dollar is up, gold must be down. If the US dollar is down, gold must be up. That's the thing. They used the same thing for oil for a long time. If the US dollar is up, oil is the inverse relationship. It happens that they trade the same way occasionally, but that was kind of the motto for a very long time. So they're trying to see, is Bitcoin the VIX, the new VIX, the new volatility fear gauge? Does Bitcoin front run what the market does? If you look at the market right now, it kind of looks very similar, because the market topped out and we had this pretty dramatic fall all at the same time. And we both kind of bottomed out in February, and we both kind of bottomed out in April. But while Bitcoin has been trending down the last couple of weeks, the market has been trending up. And then when the market started to fall apart again and was down yesterday due to the European crisis, Bitcoin went up. Does this mean we're going to see lower prices in the U.S. equity market? I don't know, the US market was up today and we weren't really down too much. So just keep that in mind. Was this move only because of Italy and the potential thought that, oh my gosh, cryptos could see 10 times, 10x this year because of all the European ECB people pulling money out of their banks and having run out of the banks and a huge worldwide crisis again? Hey, I'm not calling for that. It's something you need to watch. It's something you should say to yourself. If you're not already prepared, think about your family and your position. Talk to your financial planner, okay? And make sure you're prepared if something like this happens. This is why you hear gold bugs wanting to buy gold bricks. This is why you hear people wanting to own silver. This is one reason why people are in cryptos, to hold BTC on their hard wallet, off exchanges, so that when the shit hits the fan, they've got something. And or there's still a trading system, and Bitcoin is now worth 500,000 each because two of the major currencies in the world exploded, or all the currencies are dead, and the really only thing that's left is commodities and Bitcoin and crypto. So just keep that in mind, and that's why crypto has formed in Wall Street lingo as a alternative investment. That's what we want. We want the alternative investment folks to start pouring money in. So although that means we're going to get some violent up moves and violent down moves on macro news, holy crap, if we're the apocalypse hedge, if Bitcoin's the apocalypse hedge and the cryptos are, you really think we're not going to have another financial crisis in the next 10 years? You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. And we've already gone too long without one, guys. So with that, I believe the timing of the news article that came out with the reversal of the bonds and the euro spiking and the US equity market futures going up, it all happened at 10:30. On this drop, technically Bitcoin broke down off this wedge. It was high and tight, looking really good. As soon as it broke on volume, US futures, we went green, we went higher, up 1% on this drop. The euro currency gained against the dollar. Dollar got weaker. Euro got stronger, okay? All that trend reversed and Bitcoin sold off. Now, the markets continued a little bit higher the rest of the day, but we didn't get further selling on Bitcoin. What were we looking for? We were looking for it to stay high and tight or to come in and to potentially hold in this zone. And that's what we're looking at, and that's what we're trying to get. So we're going to see how this unfolds over the next several hours and days and see if it's going to hold. Right now, it's okay. We're holding a support line. Pretty much everything came off. Pretty much everything came off and is doing the same thing as Bitcoin right now, except for one. Golem. In fact, while we were shooting this video, Golem just made another high. Golem continues to be the outperformer. It's up 16% on this trading view right now, and this is Bittrex. I am still long and holding strong here. We broke above this downtrend line since the beginning of May. This is the daily. We've now got some volume coming in. The MACD cross just hit. Stochastics have just started and curled up. And these stochastics are probably going to be a 4-week move. We got a really nice move today. We'll see if it can hold. We still got a lot of room on the stochastics. We still got a lot of room of RSI. We could have several more days of upside if it really wanted to go. And I think a target would be on this downtrend line, which is somewhere around 75, 76 cents. And then I would take the first Fibonacci, which is just taking from the breakout to that top it did on that crazy one day. I mean, that's probably not even the best fib, but you can tell there is some matchup here because we came down, held, and we touched the 50, came down, and now we're we're in this zone and we just broke above. We can't really see it there, but that fib line right there. So I would say that's somewhere in the 70 to 83 cent. It might be difficult to get through, or it's going to blast and maybe we see 50 again at $1. But right now it's been extremely strong with volume, and it's on exactly what we were expecting after breaking out of this downtrend. So guys, I don't have any information on why this is happening. It clearly looks to be technical, which is beautiful. It already had great news weeks ago. This is showing that it held support. It consolidated. It coiled up. It now has relative strength against the rest of the market, and it should continue. Especially if Bitcoin and everything else holds and also moves up, we should see continued even higher, better strength in Golem to retest these highs. And I mean, really, if this was 1, this is 2, 3 is going to be much, much higher. So it depends on your time threshold. Now we have a pivotable, tradable stop. If you got in down here, that's kind of what I'm going to be using. If we broke below 43, 44, I would be cutting my position. Not financial advice, just here for entertainment value and thinking about my thoughts on the market. Zcash is already coming too. So block is exploding. So look at this. This is relative strength. Check out when Bitcoin's down, what's doing well. Golem has been acting very well by itself. Cardano is hanging in there a little bit better. EOS still is not moving. We had Block we talked about. Block is having a phenomenal day. I'm sure there's a few more. So with that, I'm going to keep this video short as I promised. Keep in mind we've got the whole macro in Europe going on, so read some newspapers, stay informed. If anything really starts picking up over there, and guys, just because we reversed one day, the market went up, it's not the end of it. We haven't solved the problem. Don't know what's going to happen. This has been a festering problem for the last decade, and it's only gotten worse and worse and worse. And the Italian elections are not over with. We have Spain elections coming soon. President Trump in the US just announced steel tariffs and on aluminum and steel products on the EU. Don't know how that's going to affect the markets the rest of the week in the coming months. That was unexpected. I did not know that was happening. 25%, I believe. And that's on, that's not with China, guys. That's now on the EU. So something's going on there. With that, be smart, be strong. Let's see if Bitcoin can hold. And DataDash showed a picture of June 6th, where let's keep an eye on for June 6th. Appears the last 5 times in the market we've either started the uptrend or started the downtrend on the 6th of the month. It's pretty crazy. Let's see if that happens again. And you know what? If we go sideways and just bounce up and down for the next couple days, it's really, 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 really healthy for Bitcoin, especially if we make higher lows and we stay tight and we start grinding up into June 6th. We're going to see what happens. In fact, I looked at something today. I don't know. One more thing real quick. Something like this. I got like 14 days. I looked at the last time we were down near the bottom here. We spent about 14 days getting down here and then getting up. I can't even see the damn... And I pretty much took this. This was the range that Bitcoin was in for 14 days before we got out of this range. You could draw it a couple different ways, right? Let's copy this. Let's paste it. Guess you could extend it up to here maybe. That doesn't really matter. The big thing is 14 days. We broke down off that downtrend just like that. Okay, we broke that support. Broke that support. Just looking at the days, not the percentage. The days. What we did on the 14th day, it's June 6th. Just putting it out there, guys. No idea. I'm not saying that's happening. That's pretty nutty if that's what happens. But if that means we have 4 or 5 weeks on the upside, bring it on. With that, have a great night, guys. I will see you tomorrow.